This afternoon on Fox's Outnumbered, Andrea Tantaros and Geraldo Rivera really went at it. I've got the video for you, and I hope you enjoy it.
Vet anybody, and in the process not only destroy the civic tranquility in her own nation, she destroyed the possibility that Europe as an integrated unit can exist without borders.
In the economy, I mean, there's a big economic point to that, because the European Union, I mean, this idea that it was all one economy was predicated, driven by Germany, on this idea that you could move freely, that they were going to be one big group. And this has done irreparable economic damage, as well as people flood over the borders, and she's forced to pull the fences up.
But the problem is
have big damage to this common currency.
This is a culture, unlike other cultures, who doesn't necessarily want to assimilate with Western culture. German shops are sold out of pepper spray and guns that fire safe bullets everywhere. Women are afraid to go out on the streets right now. This is a culture that is now sexually harassing women all around the country. It's a totally different thing. And when we look at this, we can't help but think, if we let those 65,000 refugees in here, am I going to be afraid to walk down the street in New York City without being sexually assaulted?
I do want to speak to the issue of some of the reports, as Andrea pointed out, the predominant number of men, because we saw that, we've seen that at other points of history, that men would come first and their families would follow. So that actually would not be something that's unprecedented. But what you're talking about, the sexual assaults and the details that we've read about men on New Year's Eve, hundreds of preventing women from going along a route to walk home unless they were willing to be sexually assaulted. Who would that be? So now it's truly violent, right? But aside from all of that, what does this have the hallmark of? ISIS. This is what they do to the women that they take over. Radical Islam. This, again, is not breaking news.
They don't even have to be carrying the ISIS flag to do this. You saw a Danish reporter dragged into a cave, basically, by a gang of men. That video has gone viral. It's on my Twitter feed. And you know what really disappoints me the most? Where are the feminists in this country? This is something that every woman who believes in equal rights,
well, this is a true
feminism, real feminists, real feminists would stand up and speak out, and they're not. I've checked the National Organization for Women's webpage. They're not saying anything about this, and I ask, at what expense are we putting the safety of women in this country and around the world, so we don't look intolerant or like political correctness?
Just 30 seconds. Germany is a nation of 60 million. They let in 1 million people. We're a nation of 330 million. The president proposes to let in 65,000. Let's not exaggerate or make hysterical the possibility of this happening in the United States.
Why?
Because of the sheer number, 65,000, I'll say it again, to 330 million, as opposed to 1 million, 60 million in Germany. Germany has altered the demographic face of the Republic of Germany.
Two Somali refugees murdered people up in Maine in August. That story didn't get a lot of play. It's already happening here. We need to wake up.
I'll take you to Chicago. There's no, Somalians murdering the other Somalians.
What you have is like you're saying it'll never happen here. They said the same thing in Germany. They said the same thing in England. And women's safety is in jeopardy.
The German experience
is
a reflection of the German government's absolute incompetence and their failure to comprehend
and we're just
the
as
dimension.
incompetent.
Look at our government. People here, we will absolutely know who they are. I think that to gin up all of this fake fear is to avoid a reality.
It's not fake fear.
It is fake fear. 65,000
the same talking points that you're spewing are the same ones that they put in Europe. And look at what's happening in
arithmetic.
No, it's not arithmetic.
It is absolutely.
It's common sense, and it's reality.
Germany is now.
It's a reality for American women.
1/100th of 1%.
All right. Real quickly, because I had said I wanted to ask you this question.
Yes.
And you're talking about the vetting process.
Yes.
It clearly is not working. The vetting process in this country. I mean, we've just gotten to the point where they've asked
some of the examples that you have are
government will vet them accurately. I don't think there's a problem with taking a pause. Every government
they came in as children. They came as children.
I don't have faith.
Hold on, Megan. The two refugees that were just arrested the other day. A murder in Maine. Do you want to address the Somali migrants murdering the family in Maine? Should we? I mean, I could go on and on. We don't have enough time, but I have this issue nailed down.
There are 60,000 gun deaths in this country.
Now you're shifting the guns. Stay on topic.
What percentage of them are Somali refugees?
50,000 refugees.
It is
Two were arrested just 3 days ago.
You are voicing the demise of the Republican Party. You are voicing
I'm voicing the
political
demise
of the GOP.
of the West and the safety and security of women
put up
across
the walls.
the world.
Put up the walls. Scare people. Make people angry.
But
and then they
women
flock
are
to the
scared,
Democratic
Geraldo,
banner.
and for good reason. So is
What good reason? Do you know anybody that's been accosted here? We live in a city of 8.5 million. Do you know one person who's been accosted by a Muslim immigrant?
Yes, me.
Oh my goodness.
You're sitting next to her.
When? What happened?
I just told the story on the couch in Paris.
Oh.
I can retell you the details if you'd like during the commercial break.
I can't defend.
I'm happy to fill you in on the whole
You
story.
consider people me moderates, and I agree with her. So talking about the demise of the Republican Party, just put it into play right here. I agree with Andrea.
I'm going to pick up here, getting us to move on, but there's overtime today online, so we can continue with that.
I'll be here.
Yes, you will be here.
If I'm still invited.
Okay, let's